25 fascinating psychological facts about human behavior. Let's dive right into it. Human behavior is a complex subject influenced by various psychological factors. These factors shape our decisions, interactions, and perceptions in ways that are often surprising and insightful. Here are 25 interesting psychological facts about human behavior that offer a glimpse into the intricacies of the human mind. First impressions are formed in just 7 seconds, largely based on nonverbal cues like body language and facial expressions. These quick judgments are powerful and can be difficult to change. The halo effect is a cognitive bias where our overall impression of someone influences how we perceive their specific traits. For instance, we may assume that attractive people are also intelligent or kind. Confirmation bias is the tendency to seek out information that confirms our existing beliefs while ignoring contradictory evidence. This bias can reinforce stereotypes and shape our worldview. Cognitive dissonance occurs when we experience discomfort from holding conflicting beliefs or behaviors. To reduce this discomfort, we might change our attitudes or justify our actions. The bystander effect refers to the phenomenon where people are less likely to help in an emergency when others are present. The more bystanders there are, the less likely it is that any one person will intervene. Social loafing is the tendency for individuals to put in less effort when working in a group compared to when working alone. This often happens because people feel less accountable in a group setting. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias where people with low ability at a task overestimate their competence, while those with high ability often underestimate their skills. The Pygmalion effect occurs when higher expectations lead to improved performance. This principle is particularly relevant in education and the workplace, where positive reinforcement can boost outcomes. The placebo effect demonstrates the power of the mind in healing. When people believe they are receiving treatment, they often experience real improvements, even if the treatment has no therapeutic value. Loss aversion is the tendency to prefer avoiding losses over acquiring equivalent gains. This explains why people are often risk-averse, even when potential gains outweigh potential losses. The mere exposure effect suggests that people develop a preference for things simply because they are familiar with them. Repeated exposure to a brand or person increases likability. The spotlight effect is the tendency to overestimate how much others notice and judge our appearance or behavior. In reality, most people are too focused on themselves to pay much attention to others. Herd mentality refers to the tendency of individuals to conform to the behavior of a larger group, often without questioning it. This can lead to the spread of ideas, trends, and even panic. The Zeigarnik effect is the phenomenon where uncompleted tasks are remembered better than completed ones. This explains why unfinished work can linger in our minds and cause stress. Anchoring bias occurs when people rely too heavily on the first piece of information they receive when making decisions. This can influence everything from negotiations to financial decisions. The false consensus effect is the tendency to overestimate the extent to which others share our beliefs and behaviors. This bias can lead to misunderstandings and conflicts in diverse groups. The IKEA effect describes how people place a higher value on things they have partially created themselves. This effect explains why DIY projects and assembled furniture often feel more valuable to their creators. The pratfall effect suggests that making small mistakes can actually increase a person's likability, especially if they are generally competent. People appreciate vulnerability and authenticity. The Pareto principle, or 80-20ths rule, states that 80% of effects come from 20% of causes. This principle is widely applicable in business, where a small percentage of customers often generate the majority of revenue. The reciprocity norm is a social rule that suggests people feel obligated to return favors. This principle is often used in marketing, where companies offer free samples to encourage purchases. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully this was entertaining enough for you to like and subscribe.